What's up YouTube? It's Raining Card Games. So for today's video, after mentioning it a few times in previous videos, I've finally got my Nekroz deck profile for the post-October ban list in 2019 format. Anyway, I've been waiting for this. Some changes finally came to Nekroz, so let's go ahead and get right into the profile. So for starters, triple shirt. He's back to 3 off the ban list. Great for consistency. I'm glad he's back. It really does help seeing him in the hand or in the graveyard because, you know, it's Nekroz. But anyway, glad to have him at 3. Staple. Must have him at 3. Next up, triple Brionic. Great searcher. Pitch to the graveyard. Search a Nekroz monster. Add to hand. And then on field, he gets to bounce up to 2 monsters from the extra deck back to the extra deck. So pretty good for removal. Also great for search power. More search power, double Colossalus, pitch at any Nekroz spell. It's pretty handy, really useful in getting the plays started. And then also on field, it's pretty great in negating a monster that came from the extra deck, negating its effects and making its attack 0. Great to run over some troublesome stuff. Next up, 2 Valkyrias. Niche applications for the battle phase and protecting your monsters. More importantly, also getting them onto the field. You be able to tribute 2 other monsters either from the hand or field. You get to draw 2, you know, thin out the deck a bit, and a decent sized body. And then Nekroz of Trishula, one of my favorite ones because, you know, it's Nekroz. It's non-targeting, banishing, so it's great for removing problematic monsters on the field, removing or any other targets from the graveyard, and then also the random banishing from the hand. It's just great in getting you some advantage and really changing the pace of the game. And then also when in hand, it also has protection from any targeting of your Nekroz monsters on the field. Overall, I love this card. Alright, and then we also have the 1 Unicorn. If I could play it at more than 1, I could, but you know, it's still limited, so what are you going to do? One day though, it's going to come off to 2, and then 3, and then full power Nekroz, baby. Anyway, on to the spells. Running 2 Mirror, 2 Cycle, and the 1 Kaleidoscope. Obviously, I think I use Cycle the most just because of the amount of times I'm pitching either Brionic or Colossus to the grave, but Nekroz Mirror also comes in handy. Kaleidoscope occasionally will come in handy because I'll need to use the extra deck to help summon out some of my monsters if I have a bad or bricky hand, but overall I like this ratio of 2, 2, and 1 for the ritual spells. And then obviously they all have that unique ability. I have no monsters on field, banish one of the ritual spells and a Nekroz monster from grave, add a spell to hand. Usually I'm adding Cycle if that's the case. And then, because this is a ritual deck, I am running an Impcantation engine. So, double Talismandra, double Candle, and double Plume. These guys are really important for opening up plays. I want to see at least one of them in my hand. It gets about fodder of different levels. And then once the other one comes from the deck, that after it's special summoned, I get to add a ritual monster or a spell from the deck to hand, or in some case from the graveyard to hand. And then for the 1-0s of the Impcantation engine, Bookstone, Chalice Slime, and the Inception. Ritual spell is great, can summon any ritual monster, so it can also come in clutch when I need it, or also just recycling some Impantations out to get more tribute fodder for ritual summons. But overall, I love the Impcantation engine. It provides so much consistency to the deck, it's ridiculous. Speaking of consistency, most broken card in the deck. Preparation of Rites. It's self-explanatory. Add a level 7 or lower ritual monster from deck to hand, and then a ritual spell from grave to hand. The searching power is ridiculous. I love it. And then for a little tech, running 1 Cyber Angel Benten. When tributed, I get to add a Light Fairy from deck to hand, so I can either add my Vanity's Ruler, which is a tribute summon monster, which I usually tribute off incantations to get on the field. Neither player can special summon monsters. It's a great lock. Or, if I already have that, I can also search out my 1 Manju that I'm running. So Manju, search a spell or ritual monster, deck to hand, pretty great. Love that little engine that I have. And then for the hand traps, Double Ash, Ghost, Infinite. It's small, like I like the ratio. They come in clutch, especially like if I'm trying to set up a board or like slow down my opponent to make a more easier board for me to go to. These do come in handy. And then obviously, if I want to deal with hand traps, double Called by the Grave really helps when I'm trying to set up a board and I don't want to be interrupted, especially like Ash kills this deck. If I'm trying to search a spell or a Nekroz monster from deck to hand, or an special summon an Impcantation, yeah. I don't want to be ashed, so I got my Called by the Graves. And then lastly, a one-of Rhoda, search out Shurit or Clausulus. And then Dark Ruler No More, same thing as the Called by the Grave. If I need to set up a board, I need to have to make sure that my opponent isn't going to negate any of my search effects or anything. On to the extra deck. I don't really go into it too much, but Cerberus, Unicorn, they come in handy every once in a while, but... And then I'll have a couple of rank 4s, Borreload and Saryuja. Don't run into those too often. More so I'm using the extra deck for utility for Kaleidoscope, but I also have a few rank 4s. Abyss Dweller and Baguska, very handy. And then if I have 2 Nekroz on Trishul on the field, 1 True King of all Calamities, great for a Floodgate. But more importantly, I want Kaleidoscope targets. So I have Herald of the Arclight is great for sending to the graveyard, search as a ritual monster or spell from deck to hand when sent to the graveyard. At level 5, just included Chien. Level 6, Brionic. Level 8, I got a Crystal Wing. And then 9, I got Hot Red. 10, Stardust Chronicle. And then for my fusion targets, Nitiz, when sent to the grave, gets a pop card, so it's a great target to send. And then also... my level 12 to send to the grave, Dragon Master Knight. But yeah, that is the extra deck. Great resources for a Kaleidoscope. Side deck, I've got the 1 Effect Veiler, Double Red Reboot, Gamma Seal, and Sphere Mode. You know, great tribute just to get rid of some troublesome monsters. Super Poly. And then a Starving Venom, you know, you never know. If I'm going up against Orcus or something, you want to have a Super Poly and the target to go through. Cosmic Cyclone, back row, or Sky Strike or anything. You have to deal with some problematic cards. Hand Trap, a few hand traps. So, Ghost Bell, Haunted Mansion, you want to deal with graveyard-centric decks. And then 2 Artifact Lancia, same thing. Don't want to deal with banishing. Then I got a Solemn Strike. Waking the Dragon, and an Evenly Matched. So, if someone decides just to pop off, I have some targets in my extra deck, so Waking the Dragon could come in handy. Summon a Hot Red or a free Crystal Wing. Solemn Strike, pretty self-explanatory. And then Evenly Matched, if I can't get a board out just because I don't have the right levels in my hand for a Ritual Summon or anything, I'll just evenly match my opponent, and that should help me out and even the playing field and set up for next turn. But yeah, that is my Nekroz deck profile. I'll be taking this to locals this week and see how it does. But overall, I'm pretty happy with how it's been in testing. But yeah, feel free to go ahead and like and subscribe and leave down in the comments what you think. Any suggestions that you have. I'm open to whatever tech choices you've experimented with or any other ideas that you have. Just let me hear them. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time.